Gotta get more followers.
Hello everyone, Canadian Futures Trader here. I hope you're all doing well. Today we're going to talk about TradeDay, guys. I've known TradeDay, I've been with TradeDay for years, but I feel like this last year with so many new firms popping up, TradeDay's kind of become one of the legacy firms that people don't talk about as much, but they really should be. Guys, I've gotten rid of multiple firms. I only work with a handful of firms at this point, and TradeDay is one of them. I'm trying to point you in the right direction. I'm trying to point you to firms that will last in the long term. They want to work with you as a trader. They want you to be successful. They move you to a proper live account. And the reality is, there's a lot of these firms out here, they don't have an avenue to live. Some of them even say they do, but when pressed for information, who's your brokerage account? When does that happen? The answers aren't there. So guys, let me do the legwork. I've sussed out who's good, who's not. That's all on my website, CanadianFuturesTrader.ca or just CFT.ca. Let's get back to TradeDay, guys. Gonna say it up front, TradeDay is not for the gambling type. Unfortunately, when I'm out there in the world of Discord, I still see a lot of traders definitely exhibiting traits that aren't the most conducive to being a long-term trader. And TradeDay is looking to look with somebody who is looking to be a long-term trader. Now, as far as evaluations go and all of that, I'm going to let you guys go to the website, look through them. They have everything from a 10K up to a 250K. I'm personally doing the 50K, and I'm going to show you that trade and talk about that in a second. But they do have a few standout things that I want to highlight. For one, front and center on their website, sign up for your 14-day free trial. A lot of firms, or most firms, don't have this at all anymore. So if you just want to check out TradeDay, get access to the software, TradeAvate software, get into their site, sign up for the 14-day free trial. You don't have to give them a credit card, nothing like that. Now, I will say this only because it's been asked before. If you sign up for the 14-day free trial, you're in TradeAvate, trading your sim account, that doesn't count towards an evaluation whatsoever, guys. You actually have to sign up to be evaluated. But you can get a crack at that. Not many firms offer that anymore. James and Steve, two fantastic guys, former pit traders, who run it. They put up their own capital, guys. So they work with TradeAvate, the brokerage, and obviously the software as well. So when you move to a live account, you'll be trading their actual capital. So one thing, or a few things they offer that a lot of firms don't as well, is actual true education as well as mentoring and coaching. So you really don't see most of these new firms that come out. I can't even think of any of them. I can think of one, but we'll keep it anonymous here. But one newer one. But for the most part, all these new firms that popped up this last year plus, there's none of this. There's no substance to them other than some sim trading. Now, if you evaluate your prop firms based on just do you get paid out, sure, there's lots of other firms that will pay you out. But even just today, literally within the last hour, saw some discussion about one of the other firms that popped up earlier this year and now is basically dead. So, and we all know of another one that is 100% dead, and then there's another one as well. Again, don't want to name names, that I think is pretty much done. I made a video midsummer about how there'll be lots of consolidation and just firms going out of business as well, and I think I'm right on track on being right on that video, unfortunately, but your friend CFT has you here. So guys, enough of me going on about TradeDay and also maybe throwing a bit of shade at some other firms. Okay guys, so I'm going to walk you through this trade. I did record audio at the time, but it wasn't the greatest. I didn't do a fantastic job explaining why I entered the trade or how I managed the trade. I was busy talking about TradeDay and the market and just kind of all over the place. So I'm re-recording the audio, now re-watching the video. I'll give you a better play-by-play. So first things first, I'm not in a trade yet, but I'm going to go short here. You see, we're going to talk about the left in a second, but on the right, the Ultra Bond is kind of nearing its low. So up to this point, the Ultra Bond in the last 2 hours before I took this trade had kind of gone to its high, hung around, came down a bit, pushed back up, broke its high, came back down, and then it just rapidly charged down. It was just a selling spree. That's kind of basically a little 30-second of what happened up to this point. Now this trade happens fairly quick. It only takes a couple of minutes to play out. So up to that point, the sellers had really been in control, and the buyers never really fought back. It kind of stalled in that area where I entered in here. for a little while. It's like, you know what? I think the sellers are going to take this for another ride. So that's why I decided to go short there. Was fully ready to jump out if I had to, but as you'll see, we were right. We called this one right. So I set a take profit at 5 ticks. The reason I did that is 5 ticks is roughly $780 in profit. TradeDay has a 30% consistency rule, so stay with me here. The goal on the $5,000 account, or sorry, the $50,000 account is $2,500 to pass the evaluation. But you can't make more than 30% in one given day. 30% is roughly $700. I mean, I'm not going to break out the calculator, but somewhere around there. So am I making slightly more than I should be? Yes, but not too worried about it. All that happens when you make more than, say, the 30%, like dead on, it just increases your goal a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. But that's something definitely you should be aware of with any firm. Know what the consistency rules are so you don't make too much money, if you will. So yeah, we're looking to do a one trade, one hit wonder today, reach our goal for the consistency, be a little over 30% of our way to the goal, and off we are to the races. If you followed me and you know my different trade setups, my catch up and all that, there's nothing catch up about this whatsoever. If you look at the left and see the 10 years, they're just trading way off their low. I'm really not correlating this off the 10 years whatsoever in this trade. This is purely having watched the Ultra Bond for the last 2 hours, seeing how the buyers and sellers have interacted, seeing that the buyers really aren't, adamant about pushing this back up, especially after a huge, it just sold off like a good 10, more than 10, probably 15 ticks. And the buyers never really fought back. And they had every opportunity to, because it's kind of stalled right here. You would think the buyers would be like, all right, let's push this back up. And they're just not. So fully expect the sellers to continue to pound this down. And that's what transpires here shortly. Let's bring this up. Yeah, I think in the next minute or so, it rallies down. Especially when you have them playing around this, where it's like literally within a few ticks of the low. You're going to have some of those, maybe buyers who did jump in go, oh, shoot, it's time to jump ship because this could fully steamroll down. And that's exactly what happens. So you're going to see it here. I've already given it away, obviously. We get our 5 ticks, our $780, a little bit over the 30%, I think, or somewhere in the ballpark. So not too worried about it. And if possible tomorrow, and right here we get filled, there we go. So we're all good there. There's another minute of video, but I think I was just blabbing away at this point, so I'm just going to pause this anyways. And you see, it did just kind of stall here. What else can I tell you? Hopefully that explains it pretty well. So it very much was contextual. That's something that doesn't come across in the videos often because, like I said, if you hadn't watched the last 2 hours of the market and what the buyers and sellers have been doing, you're not really going to understand why I said, okay, yeah, the sellers were in control here. You would just look at this and go, all right, it looks like it was going to go to the low, but how do you know? It depended on, it was all dependent on all the stuff that happened leading up to it. So, fantastic. One trade. Going to try to do the magic trick again tomorrow as well. We'll try to record it. My intentions are to record it and try to put out these videos and make it all the way to passing TradeDay. So be sure to check them out. Like I said, if you haven't in the past or you haven't looked at them in a while, definitely they revamped their program. It's been a while, but if you looked at them way back, definitely worth looking at again. I'm excited. I'm internet friends, if you will, with Steve. I talked to him a couple times a year. Literally, the guy has scheduled meetings with me just to check in and see how things are going and kind of let me know what's going on at TradeDay. But really, we end up talking about travels and the market in general more than we actually end up talking about TradeDay, it seems. But that's okay with me. What else can I tell you guys? That is it. I hope you check out TradeDay. Look for hopefully another video tomorrow with my day 2, and I'll see you in the next video.